Listen up, all fight fans and fitness junkies. You've been listening to me talk about Jocko Fuel for a while now, and if you've been waiting, the wait is over. This August, you can score a massive 30% off on all of Jocko Fuel's top-tier supplements. That's right, 30% off. Jocko Fuel is loaded with all of the good stuff and none of the bad. We're talking no added sugar, no artificial sweeteners, and absolutely no gray area or banned substances. Just pure, clean fuel to power your performances. And guys, I really want you to try some of my favorites like Jocko Go and Jocko Hydrate. This deal is only going to be available for the month of August. So use code Chael30 or go to JockoFuel.com. Don't wait. Fuel up with Jocko Fuel and crush your goals. Guys, click on the link below to make it happen. Pereira is not 2 steps ahead of the game. This is not a strategic chess player. However, he does understand that there's a game being played, and that alone moves him well in front of the guys that he's surrounded with, in fairness, who, friends of mine, but that never understood. That never understood that numbers matter. Never understood what is going on here and why these lights stay on. Now, I tell you that Pierre's got a message. And it is anyone, anywhere, anytime. Which he does not have the right to have. He does not have enough experience in this sport to have that attitude. He doesn't know enough about MMA. He doesn't know enough about grappling to have that attitude. He has not cleaned out divisions enough to be going up and to be going down. And he hasn't done any of those things because he's only been here for 4 years, right? He hasn't had time. At 36 years old, which by the way, it's old. 36, it's years old when you have this kind of life, right? When you have a life like the one he's living, your age and your body, your story, it changes. He doesn't have the right. But he's got the skills. And he means it. And before I start questioning his ability to win championships in multiple weights, or before I get you to agree with me, perhaps we should back up and remind each other he already has. He has already become the champion of the world in 2 different weight classes. So when he puts out the message, I'm coming after Du Plessis, which didn't have a lot to do with Du Plessis. It was a final nail in his battle, or the most recent nail, in his battle against Adesanya. It was to come in as the big brother to protect little brother, which Izzy doesn't want, by the way. I'm just saying there was a condescending message that was supposed to be picked up, and nobody did pick it up. They missed it. Or the idea that he would go up to heavyweight and take on Aspinall. Well, that idea wasn't just floated around when both guys were busy. That idea was floated around when both guys were together face to face. Oh, by the way, there was an open spot at UFC 300 that he was pursuing. He was dead serious about it. And Aspinall, who did accept, did not dismiss the idea. He did not say, you were way too small. I weighed 280 pounds a year ago. You weighed 185 pounds a year ago. He didn't do anything like this. He, in fact, made it clear that while he accepted, there have to be a real focus and a real emphasis put into that fight. So it was a good win. It was a good win for Pereira. And a similar thing is happening with his call-out of Du Plessis. Du Plessis, who could have handled it by going, oh no. Oh no, you're telling me the 36-year-old that left the very division that I'm the champion of, he left after they woke him up because he'd been knocked out by a guy I just tapped out, is going to come back and he's going to come after me? That is how that should have been handled. It would have been a much bigger game of chicken, but the game of chicken never happened because Du Plessis, see, guys can't control themselves from this. Du Plessis versus Alex will never happen. Alex, at 185 pounds, will never happen against anybody. But guys can't control themselves because they get too lost in the reality. Hey, my words are going to carry. I want to align the universe. If there's a chance to fight Alex Pereira, I sure don't want to miss it. Oh, by the way, let me meet him part way. This is where Du Plessis' side came in. Hey, we'll do the fight. But we get the opportunity to be champ, so we'll come up to his weight at 205 pounds. Well, now you just added a full credibility and validity to what Pereira said, which again is a win for Pereira. So now Pereira has won twice without ever throwing a punch. And it was a miss. But Du Plessis and his team are not the only ones to do this. Every fighter would make the same mistake. Every fighter who is asked, would they fight Conor McGregor, will say yes. They have no ability to get the fight. They have no direction of getting the fight. There is nothing that Conor would ever want to do, but they still got to say yes. Because if it was a reality, they would take it, and that's the part that they can't get through. So, it lives on. The idea of Big Brother coming down to 185, take back what's his from a guy that he never lost it to. The idea of champ. It continues to live on. And it's a great play by Alex, right? I started this by telling you that he's not a great manipulator. There's not a strategist here. There's just things that happen, and then when you look back, it turned out they worked out. I feel like Alex is more in that category, but he's not fully in that category. He understood he was never going to fight Du Plessis at 185 pounds. He understood that fully. But that's not the win. The win is to get a response from Du Plessis as opposed to a dismissal. You know how quickly Du Plessis could have accepted that? Du Plessis could even hold out and could have accepted it. Du Plessis could have said, I'm supposed to fight Strickland, and Alex, you say you're friends with Strickland. You just took his Christmas present away. Because now I'm not going to fight him. I'm going to fight you. And they say I got to fight him because he's a number one contender, but you're a little stronger than that. You're the champion of the world. You're the one thing in front of the number one contender who happens to be your friend, who's the spot and job you just took because I'm going to fight you. I'm not going to sign to fight anybody else. You got finished by the guy that I finished, and you left the division. I mean, this is what Du Plessis could have said. Not to mention Du Plessis is charismatic. Du Plessis could have sang what I just said. It made it work. There was all sorts of things he could have done, except for the one thing that he did do, which is to accept the fight but start working out terms of 205 pounds. That he can't do. Because that fight is never going to happen. So he missed his chance, and he helped Alex. And I tell you this because in this business, getting respect is very hard. And you will not get it if you don't have power within the business. You will get it if you feint power in the business. And you want to know something? There's nobody that has power in this business. None. There's one guy. That's just the truth. But there's other guys who say, oh, no, Chael, hey, look at this guy, look at this. Okay, great. What they've done is they have created the illusion of power. It was the greatest skill that Conor had. It was the only thing that Conor ever sold. And the reason I tell you that, I love that Pereira went up to the heavyweight call-out, even got Joe Rogan to back it up, and nobody has told him no. While the fight didn't happen, nobody told him no. Nobody laughed at him. I love the idea that Pereira got the condescending win over his rival, and by the way, did a big flex to show what he could have done, and didn't get told no. But you now come to his weight class, where he accepted a fight with Ankalaev, and didn't get it, and is now taking on somebody whose name he has never spoken. So, there's maneuvering, right? There's hustling, there's playing. I will tell you, just on a personal level, and I couldn't believe this is how I learned this lesson. I never would have known this, but I had Jon Jones turn down a fight with me publicly, and Rampage turn down a fight with me publicly. Now, Jon was offered the fight. Rampage wasn't, but thought he would be offered, and just did an interview. I never got more street ever. I remember where I went. I went down to the Rumble at the Rose. I'm in Portland, Oregon, my own town. Nobody cares about me in my own town. Believe me, I'm not like getting cuts in line at the local Lark Cafe for coffee in the mornings. It doesn't happen that way here. And I only tell you that because this was my hometown. Oh my God, they were coming out. People were coming. They were congratulating me. They're telling me good. They were looking at me differently. I didn't throw a punch. Well, Jon Jones turned me down and Rampage turned me down. I wasn't even offered the fight with Rampage. Like, I didn't accept it. Well, he said no. There was not even an offer. I mean, I'm just sharing for you. Like, I didn't deserve credit, but I did. I got it. I got the bump. So, it's a fine line. And Pereira, even if on accident, has played it very well. But the miss is he let the Roundtree news come out instead of getting in front of it. Adesanya wouldn't have done that. O'Malley wouldn't have done that. McGregor wouldn't have done that. Even if it was someone else's idea, even if it was an idea they didn't like, they would have got in front of it so that it appeared that it was their idea. Instead, Alex called out Tom. Great move. Alex accepted Uncle F. Great move. Alex willing to go down to Du Plessis. Great move. All three. None of them pushed back. But he ended up with a fight against somebody ranked lower whose name he had never mentioned, which now makes obvious he's not calling the shots. I understand the reality. No one's calling. I get that. That's not what I'm speaking to. I'm speaking about the perception. And Alex, who I don't know I've ever been critical of, I don't know that I have seen him miss a move. He missed this one.